And there are some exercises, and every level, I think, is related with one of the factors of the process of individuation which was described by Dr. Jung. Okay? The first place. Well, in Ion, a book of Dr. Jung is described something like a map of the unconscious. And he considered the self, which is represented by a point in the top, the shadow, which is a process which starts with the dark side of the personality, and a clean and bright personality, which could be male or female, very clear in development. Then after that you go to the next strata, which is the level of the couple, the royal couple, or the Sisyphia tree. It's about the moment in which you really discover how you are blind to the deep factors of the other gender. If I am a man, I'm going to discover how everything I can say about women is just speculation. It's not really true. And if I really want to know how a woman sees the world, I need to accept a lady as my master to teach me about the other side of the world. Is the discovery of the character of the other gender. Okay? Then, when you learn about the other side of the world, simultaneously you are going to receive some training, but not for you, but for a factor which is inside you, which belongs to the other side of the world. It is the anima for us and the animus for women. Usually anima and animus are not so nice beasts, are very wild. Okay? And you need to tame it. But I don't have the tricks to tame my anima, because I don't know about the femaleness. I need a woman to teach her, and vice versa. And it creates a new framework. When you have a couple relationship, it's not a relationship between two persons. It's a relationship between four persons. Two persons in the unconscious and two persons in the conscious. And on the level of the shadow, you can work by yourself. But when you go in the level of the royal couple, you need a teacher of the other side of the world. Okay? Can be your wife, but not necessarily. Can be just a good friend, okay? Without any love affair between you and her. And there are several nice cases, like the case of Santa Teresa de Avila in Spain and San Juan de la Cruz. They were a couple who developed themselves. There are Catholic saints. Or another case is Saint Francis of Assisi and Frate Jacoba de Sepisole. He was the parent of Saint Francis, and she teach him about the female side of the world, etc., etc. But at the end of this process emerged a relationship between four factors. And it takes you to the next level, which is described as the strata of the self, which starts with this famous symbol, which is one of the main discoveries of Mr. Jung, is the mandala symbol. In the Andes, this symbol is very important. The name in the Andean tradition is Tawan. Tawan means four. Tawan means four united. And this is precisely the description of the idea of the four factors united, integrated, and whole. And even the Inca Empire, this big empire which grows in South America, was the Tawantin Sui, which means the four nations united. Usually the scholars say the Inca Empire was divided in four provinces. No, are the four nations united, because the declination tin means with. Four within, okay? Tawantin. Well, and this is a factor which emerged as a sign of the beginning of the third strata of the unconscious according to Dr. Leon. And finally you have the tree of life, which is a symbol of the development of the self. Well, we organize these symbols inside of an egg because for us this is the abstract symbol of the metaphysical God of Incas, Viracocha. Even today we have an icon which is an egg of stone like this, which is the image of Viracocha, the metaphysical God of the Andes. When I'm speaking about the metaphysical God, I'm speaking about the critical discovery and the process of development or evolution of religions. It's like the discovery which was made by Moses under the name of Yahweh, in Hebrew of course, or the same thing done, or the same being which was discovered by Heraclitus of Ephesus under the name of the universal Logos, unique, the same than Moses, but of course different name in Greek. Or is the Adi Buddha, which was discovered by Siddhartha Gautama, or is the invisible Tao, which was discovered by Lao Tzu, or is Allah, who met Muhammad, metaphysical, is a being or a principle which is beyond the physical, which is beyond the tangible realms. A solar God is not a metaphysical God yet, it's one step. But the next step is to discover that. And apparently this metaphysical being or principle revealed himself to somebody who take his name, Viracocha Inca, probably in the 14th century. 2 centuries before the arrival of the Spaniards to South America. Anyway, we decided to put it inside this image of an egg because it's the symbol which represents the image of the metaphysical God. But how this is something which presents an image of the wholeness. And the whole process of individuation, according to Dr. Yu, is the process in which you look for your completeness. And probably it is going to accomplish totally after your experience with the tree of life or something. Next. In the upper strata you have the ego. According to Dr. Jung, this is the center of your consciousness. The ego is the center of your consciousness. Everything you can relate with your ego is part of your consciousness. Everything you cannot is part of your unconscious. Next, please. the development of the ego, the solid one, is related with what we call runa. Runa is just a human being. A normal human being is a runa. A human being. Runa is not only a man. Runa is a woman too. We have the word kari for male human beings and warmi for female human beings. This is another. Runa is a human. And this is the first level or the zero level, the basic level of the process of growth according to the Andean tradition. If you are just a common person, you are not performing any spiritual art, or you are not committed with any growth, you are a Buddha. And so, when you are a Buddha and you decide to start a spiritual work, you are going to receive two basic exercises. Next. The first is Samchakui, and the second is Saiwachakui. As you remember, you need to use only your intention. According to the tradition, we are surrounded by a bubble of energy. The Indians call it Poho, which means just bubble. But if you want to compare, it's equivalent to the notion of the Eastern aura, or maybe in the Western civilization, the Tyrian field, which is possible to take a picture or so by technical ways. But every one of us is surrounded by a bubble. And according to the tradition, we are the really owners of our bubble. Nobody can mess with our bubbles without our permission. Okay? It's like having a field but surrounded by a skin. And this skin is like a filter who prevent you to have connection with energies which are not compatible with yourself. Okay? But being the owner, you have the key to open it or close it, to take it to the extreme, even God. Need your permission to go in your bubble. If you decide to close that, even to God, you are entitled to do it. For some strange reason, he or she gave us the free will. And the place in which we can use the free will is our body. We are the real owners of that. Maybe we are the owners, only real owners of that in life, but I think it's enough. You are the real owner of something like that.